I'm Laurent Arnaud. I'm engineer and I'm following the Formula E since the beginning. And during the event, I am the technical delegate in charge of all the safety and technical aspects for the car. This is a center which is dedicated to logistic and technical, and we are here to do the homologation inspection of a car. Homologation of a car is to check that the car is in accordance with the regulations, mostly the safety and technical regulations. And this is what we are doing during few hours with the manufacturer.
My name's Joseph Holden. I'm Technical Director with Mahindra Racing, and today we're with the FIA doing our homologation for the Season 11 Formula E car. So homologation is really about safety, conformity and legality. We have to make sure that all of the components on the car from a manufacturer perimeter are legal, they're within tolerance for dimension, safety regulations, ensuring that when the driver's in the car's operating correctly, but similarly that we're making sure from a technical regulations perspective, we're satisfying those rules.
The most important part of this is first to be sure that the car is safe, and the second point is to be sure that in terms of fairness and equity, all cars which are homologated are fully in line with our regulations.
So going into Season 11, having homologated the car, we know we have a robust and legal package. The idea is that we show up to race one and we can ensure we're not only able to satisfy scrutineering, which is required before you go out onto track, but also then after the race, any checks that are done on the car itself are in conformity with the technical regulations.
The process of homologation inspection is something that we are dividing in 3 steps. First step is to check that the safety of the car, high voltage safety, are respected, and for that we are doing several tests by running the car different modes. Second aspect is to check dimensions, weight and physical aspect on specific elements on the manufacturer perimeter. And the third part of the inspection is to go through all the documents regarding homologation paper, safety aspect, safety instruction, safety guidelines for the competitors, and to be sure that the manufacturer has well prepared the car. Regarding car parts and more specifically the parts which are related to the manufacturer perimeter, we are checking the powertrain, which is the motor, the inverter, the gearbox, the casing and all the suspension members.
So for Season 11 there's some major rule changes coming into force. First off, there's the aerodynamic change to the car, mostly with the front wing assembly, which changes the overall performance of the vehicle itself. But the biggest performance differentiator in terms of the physical components is the tyres. They're increased grip, both longitudinally and laterally, which means faster lap times, but also means we give the tyres a harder time. So from a heating perspective, making sure they're in the optimum working window, it's much more difficult going into Season 11 compared to Season 9 and 10. So again, in Season 11, we're using the front powertrain kit in traction. So the front powertrain kit sits at the very front of the car, just behind the bulkhead on the chassis. And that's a full motor and inverter and cooling system all in a very tight package. You have the driver's feet here with the pedals and then the motor in front. And that means that we can transfer both regen from the wheels through to the motor, but also for this year especially, it's in drive. So we have some slightly modified drive shafts on the front axle, which allow us to ensure the robustness of the system. But the idea is to be able to control both this front powertrain kit and the rear powertrain in tandem when in forward drive to give optimum balance and drive through the corners.